What is going on, family? Hope y'all are doing well. In this video, I will be covering some of the events that happened at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. If you follow my Navy history videos, you know I normally keep it a minute to some of the things that happened on that certain day. As you know, December 7th is a huge day in Navy history on the things that happened and transpired. And with that, some of the people whose names I mentioned, there's ships named after them, there's halls, and many different things named after them. And there might be some people that I possibly forgot. This is from the website that I have. So, of course, if there's any people that I forgot, please let me know. And, of course, if you want a ship kit, just follow that down below. The link is in the description down below. And also just the Navy history playlist is up top as well. But with that being said, in no order, let's get into it. So, as the Japanese attack Midway Island, First Lieutenant George H. Cannon remains at his post until all his wounded men are evacuated. Though severely wounded himself because of his dedication to his men, Cannon dies due to a loss of blood from his wounds. He was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. During the attack, also, Captain Mervyn Sharp Binion, commanding officer USS West Virginia, BB-48, was concerned only in fighting and saving his ship, strongly protests against being carried from the bridge. For devotion to that duty incurred during the attack, he is awarded the Medal of Honor. Ensign Francis C. Flaherty remains in his turret holding a flashlight so the remainder of his turret crew could see the escape, thereby sacrificing his own life. For devotion to that and his courage, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. Chief Boatswain Edwin Joseph Hill leads his men of the line handling details of USS Nevada to the keys, casts off the lines, and swims back to the ship. Later, while on the forecastle, attempting to let go the anchors, he is blown overboard and killed by the explosion of several bombs. He earned the Medal of Honor that day for his distinguished conduct. Lieutenant Commander Samuel Glenn Fuqua rushes to the quarterdeck of USS Arizona, where a large bomb hits and penetrates several decks, and the explosion starts a severe fire and also stuns and knocks him down. Upon coming to, he begins to direct firefighting and rescue efforts. A tremendous explosion forward appears to make the ship rise out of the water, shudder, and settle down by the bow. Flames envelop the forward part of the ship and spread as wounded men pour out of the ship to the quarterdeck. Despite the mayhem, he keeps calm under pressure and continues to direct the firefighting efforts so that the wounded could be taken from the ship, and in doing so, inspires everyone who sees him. Realizing that the ship cannot be saved and that he was the senior surviving officer on board, he orders the crew to abandon ship. He remains on the quarterdeck until satisfied that all personnel that could be had been saved, after which he leaves the ship with the last boatload. Rear Admiral Isaac C. Kidd immediately goes to the bridge, and as a commander of Battleship Division 1, he courageously performs his duties as Senior Officer Present Afloat, or SOPA for short, until his flagship USS Arizona blows up from magazine explosions and he is killed by a direct bomb hit on the bridge. Ensign Herbert C. Jones organizes and leads a party in supplying ammo to the anti-aircraft battery of the USS California after the mechanical hoists were put out of action. Jones is then fatally wounded by a nearby bomb explosion, and when two men attempt to take him from the area which was on fire, he refuses to let them, saying, in words to the effect, quote, "Leave me alone. I'm done for. Get out of here before the magazines go off." End quote. Chief Aviation Ordnanceman John William Finn mans a .50 caliber machine gun mounted on an instruction stand in an exposed section of the parking ramp, while under heavy enemy machine gun strafing fire. While painfully wounded, he continued to man the gun and return the enemy's fire throughout the enemy's attacks. He was at last persuaded to leave his post to seek medical attention after being specifically ordered to do so. After receiving first aid, the chief returned to the squadron area and actively supervised the rearming of returning planes. Chief, later Lieutenant Finn, earned the Medal of Honor that day. As his station in the forward dynamo room aboard the USS Nevada became almost untenable due to smoke, steam, and heat, Lieutenant Commander Donald Kirby Ross forces his men to leave the station and performs all the duties himself until blinded and unconscious. Upon being rescued and resuscitated, he returns and secures the forward dynamo room and proceeds to the aft dynamo room, where he is again rendered unconscious by exhaustion. Again recovering consciousness, he returns to his station, where he remained until directed to abandon it. As a compartment in which air compressor is located aboard USS California begins to flood as a result of a torpedo hit, the crew decides to evacuate the compartment, but machinist mate First Class Robert R. Scott refuses to leave, saying words to the effect, quote, "This is my station, and I will stay and give them air as long as the guns are going," end quote. USS Utah begins to capsize as a result of enemy bombing and torpedoing. Chief Water Tender Peter Tomich remains at his post in the engineering plant until he sees all the boilers are secured and all the crew in the fire room have left their stations, and by doing so, loses his life. Captain Franklin Van Valkenburg, commanding officer of USS Arizona, gallantly fights his ship until his death, when a direct bomb hits on the bridge and the ship blows up from magazine explosions. Seaman First Class Richard Ward remains in his turret, holding a flashlight so the remainder of the turret crew could see the escape, thereby sacrificing his own life. For devotion to duty and courage during the attack, he is awarded the Medal of Honor. Aboard USS Vestal, moored to USS Arizona, Commander Cassin Young proceeds to the bridge and takes personal command of the 3-inch anti-aircraft gun. The forward magazine of Arizona explodes and blast blows Commander Young overboard. He swims back to his ship, which is afire in several places, settling and taking on a list. Despite severe enemy bombing and strafing at the time, and having been blown overboard, he calmly moves the ship to an anchorage distant from Arizona, which is blazing inferno with oil afire on the water between the two ships. Young subsequently beaches Vestal upon determining that such action was required to save his ship. And lastly, while at the side of his captain on the bridge, Cook Third Class Doris Miller, despite enemy strafing and bombing and in the face of a serious fire, assists in moving his captain, who had been mortally wounded, to a place of greater safety, and later mans and operates a machine gun directed at enemy Japanese aircraft until ordered to leave the bridge. For his devotion to duty, he is awarded the Navy Cross. All right, everyone, in closing, that's what I have. And as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure there are more things that happened. The site that I get my history from, this is the information that was given. So please feel free to share down below. I'm interested in hearing the other stories. I know Doris Miller just got an aircraft carrier named after him. I know about the Finn, the Kid, if you've served or previously served. I know these are pretty memorable names. With that being said, please check out some more of the videos down below. If you missed the card that I had for the Navy history, this will be part of the Navy history playlist. So please take a look at that and get the Navy history. And if you want to take a look at the ship kits and things that I highly recommend for being on the ship, whether you're about to be on one or you're on one right now, please check that out. And lastly, like, share, subscribe. With that being said, thank you for your time. Have a great day. And of course, thank you for serving. And if you know a veteran or someone that has been at Pearl Harbor during the attacks or is a very big historian, have them take a look at it also. But lastly, with that being said, this is my final thing. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.